Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm Siddhant. I'm part of Microsoft Project Product Team. And let me welcome all of you to the Microsoft Project Conference, an event we all had been dearly waiting for months. Today, I'm going to talk about all the lovely things we have been doing with MS Project and how we are making it more collaborative than ever before. There are tons and tons of things which we have done in the past, but my agenda for today would be how teams and project combined make a compelling reason for any small or big organization out there to adopt a platform and have all the conversations about different issues, different tasks on just one single platform. There's no need for people to go out to multiple platforms, multiple chat messengers, multiple email threads to know about what's happening in different projects. Next, we'll look at how MS Project is now becoming more democratic than ever before, and it can allow you to collaborate with Office users and guest users. Potentially, you can reach out to anyone on this planet Earth. The kind of collaboration that we have seen in the hybrid world, the biggest problem which is happening is a lot of people want to work from different geographies, different time zones, which poses a very big challenge out there. The reason is that a lot of people, they want to work asynchronously. So there is an issue when people want to update a task at their own pace. And then there's no, I would say in the past, I've seen a lot of projects were more like a command and control center, wherein people would want one project manager who would go out and reach out to multiple stakeholders and would update the task. That time is now becoming a passe. Now, a lot of people, they want to be empowered that they can collaborate with anyone, even if it is a small temporary task or it's a big ongoing active project. And similarly, the people who are taking participation in it, they want that, yes, they can update the task on their own rather than being reached out by a project manager. So there's no one specific platform wherein they can just update everything and the project manager and the team lead can find the answers to everything out there. And they have to run pillar to post to find the relevant updates, be it their scrum meetings, be it their multiple ship rooms, which waste a lot of their precious time. Moving on, Teams is the de facto chat and collaboration platform for millions of users across the globe and is just becoming more and more central to Microsoft Project vision. I would suggest that if possible, do watch Holly Pollock's video on what we can do in Microsoft Teams right now. It is now very much possible to assign a task right from an ongoing chat. If there is minutes of meeting being recorded, you can assign a chat to any stakeholder who's part of the project right from an ongoing meeting. That is truly ground shattering. So we'll look at how Teams is becoming more and more conducive and cohesive with Microsoft Project. Next, I want to talk about how Microsoft Office users can now participate and not just about viewing or getting an access or read-only access to a Microsoft project, but now they can actually edit a task. They can update their task. They can mark a task as complete. They can do, and gradually they would be able to do a lot more. Currently, it is restricted to only E3 and E5 Office users, but right now they don't have to pay anything extra for this. It's all a part of the overall Office package. And this, imagine that there are thousands and thousands of Office users in your organization. Many of them might not be a part of Microsoft Project, but you are still collaborating with them on a temporary basis. There might be an ask wherein, let's say, you just for one small thing, you have to reach out to them, and then you'll have to switch to an Outlook thread or a different email platform. But right now, you can just assign a task to them in Microsoft Project, and they can revert to you right then and there only. Last, I want to talk about how we are making a truly democratizing the collaboration platform for not just a small enterprise, but even for large organizations. Now, we don't want any tools to become a hindrance in connecting with people. Project managers can now assign a task to virtually any guest user who has been invited to your organization's Active Directory. And we can assign them a project license as well so that they can update their task. They can mark the task as complete. They can view all the tasks which have been assigned to them. Even if a guest user is not a project license owner, we can still at least assign a task to them. They can view the task and then they can move on and update the task in an asynchronous manner on a different chat platform. This way, we can virtually reach out to anyone with an email ID and that person would be able to see the task that has been assigned to them without compromising on the biggest thing, which is our security, which is our forte. Let's take a look at all the amazing features being rolled out in Microsoft Project. We'll be looking at Martin, who is a project lead for Contoso Electronics. Contoso Electronics is a giant, which is also in the domain of mobile manufacturing. They are rolling out a new mobile phone, and the product launch is 1.5 months away. So there are a lot of stakeholders who have to be onboarded so that we can really make it a great success. So let's look at how Microsoft Project is making the entire thing more collaborative and more efficient and easier than ever before. So we'll start off by starting a new project. We have a new project. We are calling it as new product launch mobile X1. And the moment we do it, we have an amazing intuitive window of Microsoft Project being presented to us. We start off with digital marketing as the first phase of a mobile product launch. And we're thinking about what could the various steps. The next will be a discussion about marketing brief. And now I want to assign it to multiple stakeholders. Smith Parker is our marketing lead, and I want him to be onboarded as quickly as possible. Next, I'm looking at what could be the major things. Website update is the one, but I'm thinking, should I involve tech people into it? Emily is part of the tech team. I'm thinking, should I have them as just a sign that she can be a part of it, but she won't have the access to the Microsoft project. It's only for the purpose of my understanding and planning. So we have this entire project in front of us. It's beautifully laid out with all the different tasks and subtasks and with different times and duration assigned to each one of them. There are multiple stakeholders, almost 25 of them, who would be participating in making this launch a great success for us. We are looking at discussion of the marketing brief, this specific task, and now we look at that it is pending for a while. It is getting delayed. So Martin is getting a bit fidgety about it, that yes, why the delay is happening, and Smith, and there's a conversation between Smith and marketing that yes, how we can make it expedite the entire thing. So now we move on to Teams, Microsoft Teams. That's where the entire chat can also happen. So not just Microsoft Project, but we can have a very live chat on Microsoft Teams. So we go on Microsoft Teams and we see that, yes, there is a quick look in view task conversation. So we can even have task specific conversations and we can have project specific conversations as well. I'm tagging Smith and I'm asking him that what happened about the marketing brief. And he had reverted with the marketing brief with a link which he had shared. And when I look at it, I'm really pleased by the kind of improvements and the kind of advancements he has already made. And now going forward, I want to involve more and more stakeholders quickly into the meeting so that we don't really jeopardize the launch event. And as we see that Smith, who is also a Microsoft Office user and also a project license user, he has the ability to change any task, to change the duration of the task, to assign it to anyone. But currently, because he's a member of the Microsoft project. But now we'll look at how Office users can participate in Microsoft project collaboration. Lydia, who is with us, a part of video editing team, but she's not part of the overall Microsoft project. She doesn't have the license. So how do we collaborate with someone? There must be thousands of Office users in this organization and multiple such organizations, but we can't. But so far we can only reach out to them and they would only have an access to the project, but they can't update the task in a specific project. So how can we solve this problem? This has been the ask of millions of users on Microsoft project that yes, they want Office users to update the task. Now we have this feature rolling out. So now Lydia, who is a part of the video editing team, who is not a part of this Microsoft project, she doesn't have the license. You can see it. She's only an Office user, but she would have the access to make the task as complete and also to change the percentage complete. So let's look at how we can assign a task first to Lydia. So we'll start off with, let's say, finalizing the ad concept. That's the first task before we get started with the overall marketing campaign. So we've just assigned a task to Lydia. And now when we look at the Lydia, she was not a part of Microsoft project. But now when we go to Lydia's view, we see that, yes, she has been assigned a task, but she doesn't have the right to do all the different features because she doesn't have the project license. But there is something specific which she can do, which is marking the task as complete. She has just completed shooting of ads and she's just completed finalizing the ad concept. But editing of ads, it's a big task. It will take her a lot many days. And right now she has only completed some part of it. So she can go to percentage complete section and she can, depending upon how much she has completed 50%, 70%, 90%. She can just do that. And the same project manager would be able to see that how much percentage completion has happened. So currently we see, yes, this task is specifically almost 35% complete. In few days, it will be 100% complete. So now Lydia can go to Microsoft Teams and she can have a chat for this specific task, and she can roll in Smith Parker and she can have the conversation going. She can share the details about the task that has already happened and the review of the edited video, and take the inputs from Smith, and she can work around on it again in case there is any improvisation that is needed. So Martin is contented with the progress Lydia has made so far, but still there are a lot many tasks which are still pending. So Smith was going to reach out to a lot many stakeholders to expedite the overall process. And the biggest, I would say the most critical path through the success of the overall product launch would be reaching out to a lot many stakeholders, including social media influencers. But our access is limited, so I'm going to reach out to Dave, who had been with this organization in the past, but now had moved on. So Dave is a freelancer now and is mostly thick with all the social media influencers. So Martin suggested that Smith can reach out to Dave and help him get onboarded and make this product launch truly a global success. But the problem is that Dave is not a part of this organization anymore. And Dave is technically a guest user, and right now we don't have any means to collaborate with guest users. And there are tons and tons of, in a real life, I would say there would be thousands of guest users and thousands of different stakeholders to whom we would want to collaborate with, but there's no means we can do that on Microsoft Project as of now. But that feature is being rolled out as we speak. Now Microsoft Project allows guest users to collaborate on an existing ongoing project. In this specific example, we look at Dave, who was with this organization before. He's in good terms with Martin and with Smith, and because of that, Martin decided to give him a Project P1 license, which allows him to actually contribute on the project. So Dave has a Microsoft Office license and a Microsoft Project license so that he can collaborate, he can have an ongoing chat with all the stakeholders. And now gradually Dave gets onboarded onto the platform and a task has been assigned to him. Now Dave sees the view in his Microsoft Teams that yes, this specific project which has been lighted up in his Microsoft Teams, there's a task reaching out to influencers has been assigned to him. He can start the chat for this specific task and reach out to all the stakeholders. So we have just seen that how Dave, who's not a part of this organization, is still able to collaborate. Dave can mark the task as complete, can change the status of the task. But now what about other users? Dave, I would say Martin had the confidence that we can give Dave a project license because he has been a part of our organization in the past and we really trust his opinion. But we still want to collaborate with a lot many other stakeholders. What about the logistics management? We want a stakeholder with whom we can collaborate with for the audiovisual setup for our launch event. But we don't want to give him a project license because we might just need his assistant for a single day or maybe a week at best. But we really want Christine to be a part of it so that she can understand the overall the urgency with which we want to move ahead. So with that, I would say use case in mind, we are bringing guest users without a project license. They can view an entire project and then they can also collaborate with the team members asynchronously. Guest users who don't have a project license won't be allowed to update their tasks, won't be allowed to maybe do anything in the project, but they can only view the task. But they can go ahead and collaborate with the stakeholders, be it the marketing person, be it the logistics lead, and they can chat with them on Teams or on different platforms, and they can give an update out there. So we have both the functionalities getting rolled out right as we speak. For guest users who have the project license, they can update the task, and guest users who do not have the project license, they can only view the task. They will only have read-only views access, and they can update about their overall the status in an asynchronous manner. This is over and above the Office users, which we have just seen that all the Office users, including only E3 and E5 Office users, would have the ability to update the task. Let's move on to a different use case. Our mobile product launch has been truly a global success. We reached out to many social media influencers. For the last 7 days, we had been trending on Twitter, And there were so many stakeholders, not just Office users, but guest users who were talking about our launch. And they really collaborated on this one specific Microsoft project to ensure that, yes, everything is moving in tandem and is happening on time. But now we're thinking about relocating our office and starting a small satellite office for the people who are working remotely so that we give them the truly an ability to work remotely as well as in a hybrid manner. So we look at a specific use case wherein we started a new Microsoft project, which is for office relocation. There are multiple stakeholders who had already been added to it, but there are tons and tons of tasks out there. We want to look at how can we make the entire thing more and more effective for these stakeholders. So there's something just like in Microsoft Excel, we are now launching conditional coloring, which allows us to specify a specific filter with which we can color a specific task. Let's look at all the tasks wherein the duration of the task is more than 15 days. Or we can also look at all the tasks which are assigned to Henry and to Olivia, and all the tasks wherein the cost is between $2,000 and $3,500. So only the tasks which I would say would subscribe to any of these four attributes, any of these four filter criteria would get highlighted. And as we can see, the tasks are getting highlighted in different colors. So we can share the same snapshot, the same view with our team members, so that once they look at it, they would see instead of looking at multiple hundreds of tasks, they would look at only these tasks which are highlighted in different colors. So with this, we are adding more and more visually appealing colors to your overall grid view. There was a lot to digest, but let me summarize. Microsoft Teams, which is the global collaboration platform, now blends more cohesively with Microsoft Project for the web. And now we can allow Office 365 E3 and E5 license users and guest users to collaborate in a more active way. So we have one single platform for all your collaboration needs. Thank you for watching this video, and do check out all the other videos where we are talking about all the other amazing features we are rolling out in Microsoft Project for the web.